Sorry about that. I completely forgot. Sorry about that. So, if there's anybody in here, yeah, I completely forgot that I had this on private and I had to actually reset this all over again. So, if there's anybody in here who wants to ask any questions or, has any questions to ask me, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll start off. My name is Black Pino the Apple Guy. I live in Alaska and been here for quite a bit, 10 plus years. I have been doing YouTube since around 2009. I created my first account 2006, and then I uploaded my first video in 2009 and have kind of been doing it ever since then. And my channel has kind of been random up to like the last 2012, I think, is when I started becoming more involved in my channel and just kind of grew from there. So any questions you guys got, just, let me know. So, how's it going, guys? Sorry about the late live. I just got here, so I completely forgot that my live was on private. So, I'm just here, waiting for some questions. Well, then, I guess I'll just get started then. So, welcome to my live. If you're watching this live replay, my name is Black Opinion the Apple Guy, and I have been doing YouTube for, as it's correct, 14 years. Actually, a lot longer than that. I created my account back in 2006, uploaded my first video in 2009, and that video netted me 42,000 views. And at the time when YouTube was created, it really was more of a kind of it's just a platform to upload videos that people just kind of did. And if you liked watching them, then you watched them. If you didn't like watching them, then you didn't. But there really wasn't this sense of, needing to get paid off of YouTube or making it a full-time job. It was just something where you just created videos and content, people would watch it. So it was something that I kind of started out as a kind of an outlet of, just, oh, cool, I can make videos, throw them up there. And then that was pretty much it. Then after a while, I still didn't really know exactly what it was I wanted to do when it came to what my channel was going to be. I just knew that I just loved doing tech. So I really did more of a kind of random. I mean, there was some tech in it, but it was more randomness than it was anything else. And that's just kind of what I did. And so after a while, uh, that's when I decided to, I think back in 2012, I think it might have been a little bit earlier than that, is when I decided to make my content more about tech. That's where I came up with just being more tech focused. And the name has always been that name. I've always loved Apple stuff. So it just made sense that I just call myself Black Appeal the Apple Guy because I'm half black, half Filipino. And so, Apple stuff that just kind of rang. And it's kind of how it's been ever since. And there's been a few things that I've learned in the long run, especially when it came to making content. 'Cause at the time, you didn't really have like a YouTube algorithm. Sorry, you didn't have a YouTube algorithm or anything like that. It was just mostly just you made videos. Like I said before, you made videos. People liked it. They subscribed to you, and then they watched more channel. They watched more of your videos. It wasn't until 2012 when I started realizing that you can make money off of making content on YouTube, and that's when I decided to kind of niche down, so to say, on content when it came to making videos for my channel. And that's where I started getting into more tech related stuff such as jailbreaking your iPhone, uh, cameras, the best GoPro. That's kind of where I started. And it just kind of took off from there. And then I started making videos on iTunes tutorials because I just had a lot of people who were, when Apple iPhones were coming out, they were being more popular then. People were starting to buy iTunes gift cards. They didn't really know what they were, but they started buying them and using them for a lot of in-app purchases and things like that. So I made a few videos on those, and those are still my most viewed videos on my channel. Even the videos that I made, like say 2 years ago, are still one of my more popular videos. Now, my channel did get pulled from YouTube, I think back in 2019 for a whole week. There was no reason as to why it got pulled. They just got pulled. And for like a whole week, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't upload, couldn't do nothing. I was frustrated. I thought, well, maybe someone had just pulled my channel because they didn't like my video, or maybe it's because I kept getting a lot of likes or dislikes. People were just red flagging my channel. I really couldn't really figure out why they pulled my channel. And YouTube is really vague on why they pull channels. That's something they really need to work on, is when they pull a channel, other than them just saying, your channel violated a guideline, it would be nice if YouTube would just, when they pull your channel, just tell you, hey, we pulled your channel because of this. If you want your channel back on YouTube, then you need to do this. So they had pulled my channel, and like I said, it was a week before I could figure out why they pulled my channel. And uh, like I said, most people, especially for as long as I've been doing YouTube, from 2009 until 2012, 13 plus years, they would have just quit it by then. But I didn't. I just kept going because eventually, you know, getting some views is better than getting no views. And after a while, after fighting for like a week or so to get my channel back on the YouTube, they finally put my channel back on YouTube. And ever since then, I have been growing slowly and steadily to where I'm at right now, which is 1.5 million views, soon to be 1.6 million views on my channel. And honestly, I never really thought I'd even make it that far, just in general wise. Most people would have given up on their YouTube channel, especially when you read a lot of forums on Facebook and on Reddit of people who are starting a YouTube channel and they're getting frustrated with, not getting the views and not getting this and not getting that. And I just find that it's funny because when you're first starting out with YouTube, it's not, analytics is like the last thing you should worry about when you're doing a YouTube channel. You really want to focus on what it is that you want to do with your channel. What are you good at? How can that translate into you putting it on the video? And is there someone else who's doing the same thing? How can you make your video different than theirs? How can you make your channel different than theirs? And I've learned over the years that obviously when it comes to tech is a very niche spot. There's a lot of people who do a lot of tech. You've got computers, you've got camera gear, you've got just different spikes off of tech. So there's some people who can do a lot of it and just kind of various degrees of it. So they just do YouTube they just do their channel for like PCs and for laptops and for gaming. And you can do that if you're really good at kind of mixing it up. Whereas there's some people who just do niches for like their channels. It's just focused on camera gear and solely camera gear. My channel, although originally it was kind of designed for Apple stuff, I kind of went a different way with it because I realized that Apple stuff just becomes more expensive over time, and me consistently buying it just really wasn't going to work it. So I've learned in the long run to, especially when it came to my channel, to not think about analytics. Because like I said, when I started my YouTube channel back then, there was no analytics. There really wasn't a lot of that to worry about. It was just posting videos. People liked it. They did. They didn't. They didn't. And nowadays, people are getting so frustrated with just starting their channel, and then like a month into their channel, they're like, "Well, I'm not getting the views that I should get. Why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing that?" And not really understanding exactly what YouTube is. They think they understand it, but don't really understand it. And that's where I think a lot of people have learned and given up on YouTube, is because it's not giving them the success. And it's not even a success. It's just it's not giving them what they thought they should get, or what they're, and I don't want to say entitled, but basically it's entitled to getting. And in my 14 years of being on YouTube, I've learned that there's just, you can't really think of the numbers in that sense. Yes, analytics is nice in all of that, and wanting to grow on YouTube, but if your sole purpose in going into YouTube is to just make money off of it, and you're not really gaining anything out of it other than just, you want to make a lot of money, then all you can do is focus on videos just to make money off of. You're not really understanding exactly what it is that it takes to make the video, to post the video, and to see if people like it. You're going to get frustrated because this video is good enough. Why am I not getting views on this? I've been on this for like a month. Why am I not getting this? Why am I not getting that? And I've learned in the long run that YouTube is more of a kind of like growing old in a sense. So you are learning as you are going, because no one ever really knows YouTube. There's not a 100% that's everything that there is to learn about YouTube. You're constantly changing up what it is that you're learning, different ways, different techniques of how you edit your videos. And I think a lot of people, when it comes to YouTube, are having a hard time trying to figure out what it is or what the formula is for making a successful YouTube channel. But that's why you have channels out there like Channel Makers, Think Media, vidIQ. Channels like these are designed to help you grow. And there's always going to be people out there that say, "Oh, you don't want to go on these channels because they're scamming you into paying money to make it." No, they're not scamming you. What they're doing is that if you want to get better, if you want to learn this, then yes, nothing they give you is going to be for free. You're going to have to pay for something. So if you want to learn more than what it's giving you, then it makes sense to pay to get more. So when it comes to that, that's how I learned a lot of the stuff that I learned, was through vidIQ, through Channel Makers, and through Think Media, because these guys are designed to give you the best tips for helping you on your YouTube channels. Now, again, you don't have to watch these channels. You can go at it alone, and that may work for you. Sometimes it does if you know what it is that you want to do. Whereas if you're just starting out, sometimes it can be harder to do. And so a lot of people who are doing these channels, like I said, they've been only doing YouTube for like 2 or 3 months, are getting frustrated with wanting to learn why their channels are not growing. And they go into these forums, or they go into like other things, and they're like, "Well, why am I not doing this? Well, I need you guys' help to, help me get more subscribers." They're doing things that don't make sense, or they're like, "Well, what happens if I do pay for subs?" Is that a bad thing? Yes, that is a bad thing. YouTube does not like people paying for subs to grow on YouTube. You want to grow organically. Otherwise, there's no purpose in you being on YouTube if you're not going to be going on organically. So, this pay for sub and stuff. Eventually, you'll get, if you are doing that, you will eventually get caught. And what will happen is that once they ban your channel, you're pretty much done unless you do something else or make another email address and then start all over from scratch. Otherwise, it's just one of those things where you don't want to do that. Like I said, I've been doing this for so long compared to other YouTubers who have been doing it for as long as I have. No, I'm not in the same positions as they are in terms of their subscriber rank and where they rank and their goals and whatnot, but I'm still gaining views and subscribers. Like I said, YouTube is a marathon. It is not a race. I am not racing towards an end goal. I'm not trying to make YouTube my full-time job. It's more of I don't want to say side hustle because that's not really what I would consider it. It's more of, this is something as a hobby that I love to do. I love making videos. I love making content and then sharing it with my subscribers and for people out there who want to learn. Now, whether I make a lot of money off of it or not make a lot of money off of it doesn't really matter to me because I already have a job that I love and don't really plan on leaving. Now, a lot of people who want to make money off of YouTube, they're too focused on the money aspect of it and not really focusing on the creation part of it and the creativity of it, because you can't have one without the other. You can be creative and it'll take you a while to make that money. But if you are more of the, I want to make the money, so you're not being creative, you're just throwing videos out there, then you're going to be there for a long time waiting and getting frustrated. And eventually what's going to happen is that you're going to burn yourself out and then you're just going to quit YouTube altogether. Now, there's nothing wrong with like taking a break from YouTube if you've been posting and doing a lot and, months or, weeks, and you need that break, then there's nothing wrong with that. I took a break a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, and although my viewership kind of suffered for it a little, it put YouTube in a better perspective for me in terms of coming up with more ideas that I could use for making more content on my channel, as opposed to, taking months off and then not being able to come up with new ideas. But then after a while, I become more complacent with taking time off from YouTube to the point to where, well, I don't really want to do YouTube anymore. So I'm just going to start making YouTube videos and then coming back and then doing it again. And then, coming back to the same conclusion of, why aren't people watching my videos? Why aren't people doing this? So YouTube is more of a marathon, not a race. And I don't think most people really understand that until they've actually started doing YouTube. And anyone who says that YouTube is easy has never done YouTube. I would consider things like TikTok, um, Live Me, Big O, things like that, Snapchat, those are more easier to do than YouTube, because those don't really require you to do anything. And most of those just require you to use a phone. Whereas with a YouTube channel, you can either do it with a phone or with a camera, but you're more likely going to do it with a camera because it gives the best options for doing what you want to do. And with that being said, it does make it harder for people to want to do that. Otherwise, even gear, when it comes to making gear for your channel, it doesn't really matter if you're running a Sony FX30 with a 16mm f1.4 and an 11mm f1.8. Gear doesn't really matter when it comes to making your channel. You could start off with just your simple iPhone, get a good mic, and there you go. As long as the content is there for people to watch and as good as you can get it to be, then that is how you create a large following. Now, like I said, for me, I started with an iPhone. Then I went from an iPhone to a GoPro. Then I started off with actual cameras. I started off with like a point and shoot. And then I learned about Think Media. And then I watched a lot of their videos. And then I bought some of the cameras that they recommended. And those were fine for a while. And then I went into the Sony lineup. And I've been using Sony cameras ever since. But I didn't buy a camera to do YouTube just so that I could have better gear to make better channels, even though I didn't really know much about YouTube. So buying expensive gear is going to get you more viewers or more subscribers. It just means you spend a lot of money on gear that eventually you're going to get frustrated with, and you're going to more focus on the gear as opposed to the content. So what I've learned in my 14 years of YouTube is that gear doesn't matter. Patience is a virtue because it's something you definitely need. And three, and this is I think the most important one, is to stop copying how other people do their channels so that you can gain success. A lot of people out here that I've seen, will try to, and I don't want to say copy, but they'll try and simulate the same style of content that they see someone else doing in the hopes of maybe that they'll get better at their channel, or that they'll get more views because they're trying to be more like that person instead of being yourself. Be yourself, be authentic, be the best that you can be on YouTube. The rest is just, the rest will follow. And if you stick to those rules, then you will gain the followers, then you will gain the subscribers and all of that you want. And you'll be able to go full time eventually. It's not one of those things where you start a YouTube channel and then you're going to go, instant fame in like a month. Like I said, you could throw all the content you want out there, but if it's content that nobody wants to watch, then you just kind of wasted all this money on gear and all that just to make content that no one's going to watch. So that is really all I wanted to talk about, was just that. So this is like I said, this is like the fourth time I've ever gone live on my channel. I don't really do it a lot because I don't really gain a lot of traction from lives, but otherwise, this is what I usually would do when I'm on live. So I want to thank anybody for watching. Again, if you have any other questions, just feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section or on my channel, and I will answer them the best way I can. So I want to thank everybody for watching. For those who didn't get a chance to watch, I am sorry. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video.